Hi, Erica. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to meet with me. I'm so excited to explore the benefits of expanding the commuter service with you. My name is Kendall Robinson, and I currently serve as the manager of the airport here in Columbus, Ohio. As you may know, we've provided exceptional customer service and commercial transportation to the area since the 1950s. However, we have been met with some challenges recently that I like to shine light on. That history means a lot to us. But before going into the proposed solutions, I think it's important to discuss where the demand currently lies and then how we can bridge the gap to create something more meaningful and mutually beneficial, not only for us, but for the people that we serve, so we can ensure that we are equally contributing and receiving from the collaboration. So, like I mentioned before, our history goes way back, and in that, we have gained credibility for being able to offer reliable commercial service that covers various demographics. With those factors coming into play, such as passenger volume and competition, our credibility has taken a huge hit. And in turn, this is negatively impacting our company. There are several companies that offer transportation options, leading us to discontinuing our air service for almost 6 years. But at a point in time, we served nearly 25,000 customers who are now forced to rely on limo shuttles that are inconvenient in price and time, waiting an average of 90 minutes to get to the nearest airport.
Without a doubt, I see exactly why there's a timely demand for the proposal. There's an ongoing demand, reliable and efficient transportation while remaining affordable. Like you said, it has shifted. Passengers are facing longer times with higher costs, losing convenience along the way. And so there's a cause of urgency to ensure there's a high quality of work being put out while reestablishing the presence in commuter air services. The first step would be to address the inconsistencies and find a strategy to restore the reliable reputation. I feel like we want to follow through on our promises to our customer base while guaranteeing we hold a spot at the table as one of the strongest competitors in the industry.
Yeah, I agree 110%. We want to revive the services while also ensuring convenience with both time and money, like you mentioned. We have really done the hard work and the behind the scenes investment. Now's the time to get active and finalize our collaborations so we can guarantee the results that I specified in the outline that I will provide you with.
Correct. My question to you is, why the need for change? Do you feel as though you can provide enough willpower to back the ideas you have set in place? As we know, this industry can be very trial and error because it is no reliant on response, and competitors haven't always had the best luck with staying consistent, which makes you so different.
That's a really good question. I would say with the involuntary downtime that we've had the time to conduct several studies to ensure that we're pulling results from different consumers and giving that blanket region. One of the strategies that stood out amongst the others, out of 3,200 participants made up of local faculty, residents, and even students, that majority of audience who uses our services. They 67% said that they would be more interested and even prefer having a direct flight opposed to a limo or taxi service. So of this percentage, a large number of participants also noticed that this option would be the most feasible for them if it was both consistent and the price was competitive amongst the industry. I would say that we noticed our region has grown by 12% since 2020, which was the last time that we utilized our services. There's a clear transportation gap that I'm noticing, and implementing what I have from the surveys would really help me and ensure that I'm just covering the entire region. These statistics kind of would give us a home run in providing strength if we power through with the direct.
That's a very good strategy, and I see the potential to build on it for both companies. I appreciate the concrete numbers to back up the approach you plan to use. However, I'd like to hear more about um, the specifics about how you plan to implement these strategies on the technical side. You have definitely taken the time to demonstrate your passion and effort to guarantee that the consumer voice is heard, which is great. I like to see you channel that energy into specific steps you'll take to ensure your employees are following the company standards.
I would say execution is definitely everything, and I am super confident in the staff base and infrastructure that I have. Even though we did take that involuntary break, we made sure to keep good graces with the resources and the tools that we had so I could kind of maximize and utilize them now that we're up and running with the new plan. The services are still funded by the university, so we can still make them accessible at our fingertips. Our runway is still compliant. I've made sure to maintain the upkeep with that. I would say the branches I have invested in are more than ready to take on the tasks needed, from customer service to marketing to maintenance. The missing puzzle piece is honestly just trying to figure an airline partner that can contribute to our consistency while also matching that. And I want the customers to feel that as well in the new plan. Oh, sorry. Knowing what you know now, I'd like to take that and kind of transition into how the two can merge. I know that we discussed the solution, but I want to talk about a solution that would benefit the both of us. I would say ultimately serving the region, because that is the goal. We don't want to put out just a service. Our vision is to be an experience. Through our services, we want our passion to strive and shine through, and ensure that those values of customer service are shared across the board. I believe that we can build something that stands like the test of time and isn't just a temporary fix, but is a lasting solution. I would say on top of that, I'm also proposing to you a 12-month partnership at a no risk guarantee. So you'll get your contract, but you won't get the consequences that come with it if you don't get what you're looking for. If you would like to invest, this would also offer 2 round trip flights from our airport and Pittsburgh International, honoring that route for the both of us. I would assume that this would appeal to your current investors as well, because it's keeping that same route and already aligns with Eastern Southern's current routes, so we don't have to worry about too much of a budget impact on that. Even better, on behalf of the airport, I've went ahead and I'm more than ready to provide you with a marketing campaign and unlimited access to the services we provide through the university, just so we can alleviate any complications for both student and faculty travel. In addition to that, for that final layer of security and just to show our dedication and appreciation to you guys throughout the process, I do want to go ahead and implement a quarterly performance review just to make sure we're staying aligned and on top of everything that you need from us, but we'll need from you, ultimately the consumer as well. You'd be looking at a minimal revenue guarantee of $3,500,000 in year one, which I know is both measurable for us, hopefully for you as well, and realistic based on the data you've provided. So that's the kind of support we want to offer, just because we want to show that we're fully invested in making this work for you guys.
Wow, Kendall. That's exceeding our expectation, truly. I honed in on the idea of leveraging the university traffic because that's an exceptional point, but it raises the question of mutual benefit. While that fuels university publicity, I want to hear more reassurance. My concern is that we'll invest in a short-term cycle with nothing to show for an end. Hypothetically speaking, if our flights don't reach the estimated capacity by Q2, what would that look like?
That's a really good question. I definitely understand your concern, and it is valid given everything that you know this far. I would say, based on that specific scenario, my first thing would be to reevaluate our consistency, and then we want to build a recollaboration from there. That's trying to find the root of the problem. I want to evaluate where are our key demographics, what are we doing wrong, what are we missing, and then that will ultimately bring me to a solution about what can happen, where I need to adjust for the students, because ultimately the goal is to fill those seats with an experience. I would also speak to you about ticket packaging, if we need to compromise, provide any incentives that appeal to both the residents, the students, and the faculty. I guess the question would then become, what do we have to do as a partnership to ensure that we are filling those seats with those experiences, but not compromising on the quality and the outcome for not only just us, but for the clients as well?
Well, what would on-site coverage look like for the Eastern and Southern?
So as far as that on-site coverage, we want you to be more than valued and heard. We want to pull up a seat at that table and provide you guys with that voice, because ultimately this is a partnership. So we'd be more than happy to offer you branded signage and a guaranteed seat at that transportation board, whatever that looks like, whether that's you or whether that's coverage from other people in your branches and departments. We want to give that to you. Like I said, feeling valued is really going to be at the core of this entire collaboration. I don't want to make any moves without you. I would hope the same would be for me as well. So our intention is just to lean on each other, not give and take. We want to make it known from the beginning that this is not just a temporary fix. Like, this will be a solution. We are in it together, and we have those resources provided.
There it is then. If you're confident that the university can deliver and exceed the terms here, Eastern Southern would be more than delighted to pursue this partnership.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much. On behalf of the University Airport, we welcome you with open arms. We're more than excited to take this next step with you guys. I'll also be following up shortly with a formal written proposal. This will just summarize everything we discussed today, just making sure we're on the same page with that and we can both move forward with clarity. That document will also include those performance benchmarks, those passenger models, and a proposed timeline, just to make sure we are meeting those goals when they need to be met. This will also help you present it to your executive team whenever you're ready to sign off on that. Once again, just making sure that we're on the same page. I will say, on behalf of us, I'm super confident on our individual abilities. I'm very excited to see what we can do as a partnership and how this takes place. So yeah, did you have any questions before I go ahead and send that over? Any modifications you wanted to make?
No, you're more than welcome. As I am, I'll look forward to hearing from you, and we'll send the proposal over to my exec as soon as I receive it. Thank you.